Hey everybody, my name is Matt and I am the creator over at Web Games Etc. That's just my little corner of the world where I put out little video games that are fun for me. And The Wizard of Ooze was a proof of concept in building a game that I was looking for, which had arcade style action familiar to the arcade 25-cent arcades of my youth back in the 80s. Something that is a dungeon crawler. I just wanted to go from level to level, just, picking up stuff and killing mobs and advancing. And I wanted it to have a little bit of RPG elements. I wanted it to have, some RPG structure and flavor and sensibilities, without having to dedicate, 200 hours to some kind of sprawling adventure that I just don't have time for in the real world. I wanted something that I could sit and play in an evening just for fun. And this is what I came up with as a first round. Welcome to the fourth video. We are going to start off where we left off. Uh, if you haven't already, you should check out the other videos that came before this. At this point, level 2 is completed, and we are about to go on to level 3, the Lava Labyrinth. So after the dungeon level, by this point, you should understand, the element-based aspect of the game. You should understand how the combat and the spells work, and hopefully you've read enough to understand that you're going to need to start layering these spells and taking advantage of the effects that one have upon the other if you're going to advance through these screens without combat lasting for 18 minutes while you just pick away at each other. So here in the Lava Labyrinth, I see right off the bat there's a chest to my left, and when I head in that direction, the fire in the lamp jumps down and becomes this fireball that we see before us. I do talk a little bit about the RPG Maker engine. A lot of these assets are default, but a lot of these assets have been enhanced by me. The fireball that you see in front of you is a combination of a fire creature that they give as default asset. I've colorized the brick in the background, and I've enhanced some of the yellow and some of the lava in the flooring. And then, as in all of the other battle backs, I've created a custom gradient here in the bar backing that's unique to the battle back for the level. So here in the Lava Labyrinth, this is what the battle backs look like. We're going to go here to magic. We know he's a fire-based elemental. You can just tell that by looking at him, but we do have enough TP to identify him. So let's find out what's going on with this guy. He is a fire spirit with a max HP of 626. So we do see that the HP is increasing as we get from level to level. His max MP is 161. He spews fire and napalm. He is weakest to water. Smells like burning eyebrows and damnation. Again, we've got to get those tactile smells in there. His attack is fire based, so those graphics are customized to that. And so I mentioned earlier that that would become relevant, and I will go ahead and explain that now. In the RPG Maker MV engine, your attack has a default animation, and if you just run with those default attacks, then everybody has the same attack icon and attack animation. And I wanted a little more customization than that. So what I did was I copied that attack and I pasted it off 3 more times, and I made each attack specific to the element, and I gave the fire attack a fire-based attack icon, and I gave it fire-based graphics, and then I made the earth-based attack with an earth-based green icon and earth-based graphics. In the animation, in the water, you get the idea, has a blue icon and water-based animation. And then each mob uses the attack that is specific to his element. So whenever you see them do the default attack, they will still have the customization of the icon and the graphics to their element. So that's just another little something that I did to try to take the default and make it something greater. I'm going to lead with waterfalls, which is going to leave him in a state of soaked. He's going to hit me again with fire. Now, he is a fire element, which means that he is strong against earth. but I have hit him with waterfalls, which leaves him soaked, which leaves him vulnerable to earth damage. Let's see what that does. So 189 on earth damage on a fireball, that's a pretty impressive trick. Now that we've pulled his MP down a little bit and there's been some fire exchange, my TP is heavy enough that I can use Hero's Shout. And Hero's Shout is not only going to do damage to him because he has no resistance effects to light-based spells, which the Hero's Shout and the Hero's Blessing is, but that's going to give him a little bit of stun and phase him for a minute, and he's already at the end of his HP, but I am out of mana to do any water spells. So what am I going to do? I've got enough HP to survive a couple more rounds. Let's just hit him with a little bit of lightning. That'll do enough damage to finish him off. So he jumped down from that lamp as I approached the chest, and nope, nothing else pops out. New armor, fireproof goggles. Fireproof goggles were found and equipped. Find all 3 fire armor pieces to complete the set, and someone's got an earring around here somewhere. So this is just a little bit more hints that can be turned on or off by the gem. Overwhelmingly, the little bit of testing that feedback that I got was that people often didn't know what they were doing next. So not only have I tried to make it repetitive in the pattern, but whenever you're in a level where there's not this constant movement and constant engagement as a source of problem, I go ahead and I take that pause to give you a little bit of instruction. So that's true in this level and in the next one. Let's walk through the rest of the way and see what happens. As we come around the corner, the flame jumps down from that lamp. He is a fireball. We know he's a fireball, but we're out of MP. And I'm so busy talking that I didn't try to replenish. So let's come back to some mana water. Unfortunately, we're going to use this round. As he casts fire and gets an early 85. I'm going to use waterfalls. There's no reason at this point to not use the advantage that you have. Otherwise, you're just going to turn it into a much longer sequence of combat than you need to. He's soaking wet from the waterfalls. I'm going to use the lightning. He's going to get the damage bonus. By now, the TP is going to be run up enough that I can use Hero's Shout. Hero's Shout is going to stun him, take him down to 20% less. I can probably clean that up with a water spell. Oh, right on the edge. Right on the edge, and he got another attack on me. But that's okay. I'm just going to hit him, and that's going to take him the rest of the way out. You may have seen the fire sword there just then when it swung, had a little bit of a fire animation, and that's just me adding a little bit of something in Photoshop, a little bit of a fire brush on the default sword to add a little bit of flame to my flaming sword there. Now, I took care of this guy right here. I came around the corner and he jumped down and attacked me. And this last guy that I attacked over here after it was all done, that he was done. That bowl was empty. But coming around the corner, he attacked me. Now he's back up there. I'm going to have to watch him. I don't want to go that way. But as I come around the corner here, I see there's this lava pouring down the wall, and there's this big fireball at the end, and there's this dead something. And because I know what's going to happen, we're going to take a moment, and we're going to juice up. I'm going to use Healing Blast. That's going to recover most of my HP. And we're just going to try. We're going to try to run through here and see what happens. Whoa! Ouch. And that's my first death. So that guy, that lava pouring down out of that port right there did so much damage that it killed me. I now have 1 death. But as you can see, and as I have said, anytime you die, you just beam down to you beam over to the beginning of the level. Everything just picks up right where you left off. There's no penalty. You just you've got a death added to your scoreboard now. I'm going to come around the corner on this. Oh, and 2 things happened all at once there. When I touched the big red orb, it shut the gate that turned off the lava. But when that happened, it triggered the fire in the big chalice there, sitting there staring at me. And he jumped down and made short order of coming straight at me. And now we got to do this funky thing. I'm gonna hit him with waterfalls. That's gonna soak him. It's good damage. Now I've got the extra damage from blind lightning. That's gonna do bonus. That's gonna get him down to about a third. My TP is up. My TP is up high. And already here, oh, and he's still soaked to the bone. Let's hit him with a small static spark. Extra damage from the small static spark. I saved mana points, took advantage of the situation, and that wrapped things up quickly. All right, so the cup has not come back on. It seems I've truly vanquished the flame spirit there, and touching that orb has turned off that lava spout there and cleared the way. But I've got another one here, and frankly, I don't want to touch it. I've learned my lesson. I've learned it the hard way. So I'm going to come back up around here. There's another chest right there, which I know kind of by Pavlov response at this point. Oh! Well, okay. Let's get in it. Magic, waterfalls. Whoosh. 190, good hit. He attacks. Fire element, straight up attack. He is soaked. I'm going to use the big lightning. Blinding lightning. It's going to blind him. It's going to take a big chunk out of him. He's going to cast napalm, and that's going to bounce right back, sucker. But that's also going to dry out his soaked, and I'm only at 49 TP, so I can't get the hero bonus. But this is all going to hit so close. Waterfall, that's all right. It's cheaper than the first level spell anyway. Let's just finish him off. Cloak o' Demon Wings. Cloak o' Demon Wings was found and equipped. Find all 3 armor pieces to complete the set. And something up ahead can be shivved into an earring. Something up ahead. Well, I see this big orb here, and that closes that. So I can now pass by that without getting killed. I can pass by that without. I got one of these flaming, one of these flaming balls of hate right here. Okay. Waterfalls. So again, there are a lot of the default graphics in play here that come with the RPG Maker MV engine, but I'm taking them and I'm customizing them. Even the animations, I stack them. I'll copy one animation and paste it on top of another animation, and then change out frame rates or whatever, to just separate it a little bit from the default. I added yellow highlights in here. I pushed this up and made this brick is that same brick. I just made it all red and came in here with lighting effects, and all of these gradients that I do to customize with each backboard. It keeps it changing every level. You keep seeing something different every level. That bowl is empty, so I'm going to assume he's not going to be back around. Here's the ball. Again, I don't have to space bar. I don't have to hit enter. All of these things that should happen when it becomes obvious that it's going to happen and you touch it, it happens. Here, in this level, having turned off all 3 gates, the exit has already opened itself up. The big ball that was blocking the exit up over here has been relieved. You get a message after turning off this 3rd lava gate saying, a way out has appeared from behind the rolling rock, and you're about to, and you level up. And this is one of the few, if not the only levels that are left where you level up from something that you're doing through the course of the level. All of the other games level you up as you exit the level after it's been completed. And in the earlier stages of the game, when I wasn't quite as good as I was by the end of the game, at this point, it was just a way to level the odds. It was just a way to do a little bit of balancing, because you now have to fight these lava gumdrops, these big, huge lava oozes, which you may remember as being one of the bosses from the dungeon level 2. So let's go and let's clean the floor with them. So this lava is one of the Tyler Warren RPG battlers. He makes a group of them available for free. As this was my very first game and largely a proof of concept and completely given away free as a demo, I did take advantage of some of those. New armor, Fire Shroud, suit up. So this is the lava armor. It's got bat wings, it's got full two-tone red goggles, and I've used one of the caped, fabricy looking armor sets, and I've decked that out all in red. Of course, when you get the full armor set, you get the gem. So you can come in at any time, even during combat, and go, you know what, this lava set isn't working for me. I'm fighting a water-based creature, and I've got too much water weakness, and he's kicking the crap out of me. I would be better off even in the dungeon suit, and you can hit that gem, and right even mid-combat, you can change, and then you can turn around and go, oh, that didn't work. Put me back. Boom. So the gem comes with the suit. We haven't found the accessory. We got to choose one of these guys. This guy's down here by the door, and this guy's bound by a revolving gem, and I don't know what that does. So what if I just head for the door? Let's take this guy out. Well, boom. They they double down. So now we got to fight two of these guys. So I am going to use waterfalls right off the bat. It gives them the soaked. It's AoE. It will hit both of them. Oh, and I missed. I miss on that guy. Off to a good start. But hey, that's the beautiful thing of random. All right, I'm going to use Blind Lightning. It's going to affect both of them. Only the waterlogged guy is going to get the bonus. And look at the bonus on that. 65 versus 267. That's where you really see where that's coming in for you. Now, I haven't panicked too much because I knew that between the two of them, I was going to get a lot of TP fast. And here we are. We are going to use Hero's Blessing. Booyah! You have fallen into my trap. I have completely refreshed my HP and my MP. You missed. Ooh, you also missed because I'm wearing the fire suit. You guys can't hit me with my big fire suit. Let's try this again, punks. Water falls. Boom. He's out. And sometimes you plan these things to go a certain way, and you set up what the trick is, and then you enter into the randomness of combat, and people miss unexpectedly, and things happen that you weren't counting on, and you know, sometimes you work through it in a different way. Sometimes it raises up and it kicks your butt, but sometimes things happen differently than you expect. Now, having vanquished both of them, there's no reason to not come over here and find out what this thing is. Is this going to be a monster? What if I touch my tongue on it? Oh, new fire. New spell, fireballs. Okay, so they've been baking us with this fireball spell. And after you get this whole thing cleared and you hit this gem, it dispenses fireballs. Costs 55 MP, 25 TP, gains 25 TP. So you got to have it to spend it, but you get it back. One target, no critical. Fire damage. A swirling balls of fire, strong against earth, blows up seared mana. And once again, if you just blow through there and you, okay, cool. This is really important. Blows up seared mana. So we're going to remember that. We're going to keep that away in our pocket. We have cleared this level. We've opened all three chests. At this point, you can leave. At this point, you can go on to the next level. And at this point, it's going to tell you. Level 3 is completed. You can look at the menu item achieved for accomplishments. You can always come in here at any time and look at what you've achieved. We've got one death on the books. And that came by me demonstrating that lava column. And mostly I just wanted to warn you, don't touch the lava column. It kills. Pickup count is 85. Chests open 12, weapons found 2. We found the flaming sword and the baton so far. Kills 21, secrets found 1, armor found 9 pieces. So we've got 3 sets of armor now and 2 accessories found. So at this point, we have not found the accessory for the lava suit. And we have not completed the secret to level 3. Secret level 3 not completed. And it's going to tell you right here in between, levels. Coming up is Water World. Find the mana suit, armor set, and gem. Find the hidden mana accessory. Find the secret water room and staff. Again, you can use the item, hints, gem to toggle hints on and off. If you have not seen that in a previous, you come in here, and I have these gems that control things, and one of them is the hints gem, and you can turn the hints off right there, real time, dynamically. So that's kind of a fun little interaction as opposed to going to some kind of options menu. I am running the big options menu from Yamfly where you've got all the different options, and this is probably the best example. If you haven't noticed by now, I am using the default icon set that comes with RPG Maker MV, but I went in there after trying to do customized ones, and then after trying to do pixel drawn ones, and after trying to customize my own, I went in and I just made these gradient overlays for glass buttons. There's several tutorials online on how to do this, and I do this for my kind of work. And I went through and I overlaid these glass overlays on all of my buttons. And so here in all my items, you can see they got the little glass overlays. And that was just one more way to take what was given to me and customize it. So I wasn't reinventing the wheel, but I was making it my own. And I think those look pretty good. I tried a number of different opacities, and I really like the shiny glass buttons. And I think it takes it to its own little place. So at this point is the spoiler alert. If you do not want to know how to get the accessory, and if you do not want to know how to find the magic lava, the secret layer, if you want to discover those things on your own, then thanks for joining us this far. Be sure to like and subscribe and do all the stupid stuff that YouTube, makes you do so that I will at least get seen. And go ahead and meet us in the next video where we're going to go on to Waterworld. For all of the rest of you that may be aggravated or aren't going to play the game yourself or want to see how it's all done, come back with me. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. So one of the things that I do is I put the secrets in groups of 3s. You will see frequently that there are groups of 3s, and there's 3 pieces of armor, and the reoccurring 3 pattern is a thing in these games. So if you're not sure what to do, you need to look around and see if there are 3 of anything. And in this case, there are 3 of these skulls. And in this case, 2 of these skulls are the broken skulls with little piles of debris around them. And in this case, one of the skulls is not broken. Let's break it by hitting the inner. Boom. Hitting the inner strikes it and breaks it. And we get rewarded by whatever the hell this thing is. No doubt it's fire element, flaming wraith, kind of, even the name gives it away. Let's go to magic. Let's use waterfalls. Let's get the water damage in. Let's get it soaking wet. Let's get the TP bonus. He's going to hit us with some fire for 116. That's a pretty good hit. But I want to know what this thing is. So we are going to identify Flaming Skull Wraith. Max HP of 666, max MP of 66, spews fireballs and napalm, channels mana. Great. Part fire, part wraith, part what? So this is also a default asset. This is an asset that is provided with RPG Maker. I extensively recolored him. I don't even remember what his original color is. It may have been some sort of red, but I zoned him off and made the blue the very mana-looking blue, and I made the red very red and gave him highlights. And then I inserted these fire animation balls. And I want to use this moment in particular to mention the plugin that I used, the Rexal, R-E-X-A-L. I used his script for animated enemies because I'm not using the side view battlers that are animated. I'm using the stationary ones. I wanted them to have some motion. And while I tend to try to use Yanfly exclusively just so there's no compatibility issues and just because it was so well supported up to last year, I ended up liking the movement and the pixelization on the Rexall script better. And I particularly like the way it worked out on this guy because I'm giving him some bounce and I'm giving him some float. And I've got the cycle on these so that they're not necessarily in sync. So he kind of looks kind of springy. He kind of looks like he's elasticating back and forth while he's floating up and down. And so I've talked about it at length at this point because I really like the way uh, this motion ended up looking on this mob in particular. And I wanted to mention that Rexall animated script at some point. So let's get back to the action. This guy's going to be a pain in the balls, and I know it. He's already taken me down halfway. He's still got that little soak state, so he's still vulnerable to earth damage. And typically, I make the most of that from the blinding lightning, but in this case, I want to use poison. Uh, Poison is earth based, and he's soaked in water, so the poison spreads. The rationalization there is he's standing in water, so he's much more susceptible to the poison, and he's covered in water, and so the poison just permeates throughout. And you saw how big of a hit he took there with the poison, and he's now going to take damage over time. That poison's going to stay on him. And by this time, I've got enough TP to use Hero Shout. So Hero Shout is going to do damage, and it's gonna keep him immobilized for poison to do its job, which at this point is no longer even needed. So by stacking those things properly, all right, boom. So two things happen there. You can rewind it and watch it because I was talking and you probably weren't paying attention. Two things happen there. One is we move to the other side of the skull. The second thing is the uh, treasure chest that was over here has been wiped out, and this rubble that was here previously has exploded and has revealed this doorway with this kind of lava barrier, this kind of flaming throwing thing here. And there was a couple of things that happen here specifically. I saved this to the end so it's not a spoiler, but when you're working your way through the lava, you can avoid this whole lava trap by opening this treasure and then coming around and hitting this guy first. And when you do the combat of him, you end up on the other side. And you don't even have to deal with fighting this fire guy. And it was just a soft, subtle thing to give you a little bit of a break on a playthrough where you're like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with him. I don't even want to deal with, having to turn around and run back through here. I'm going to get what I need over here. I'm going to beat up this guy, end up on the other side, and play the map the rest of the way through on this side. The other thing here is now that each chest is complete, which you can reach each chest without having to come down through this channel, now that all the monsters are dead, and now that you have the accessory from this mob, let's go look at that guy. That's a bone earring. It completes your fire armor set. Uh, Resistance, more earth resistance, it's a fire-based thing, but more water weakness. Attack +3, luck +6, TP regen of +6. So you're building more TP when you wear the lava suit. You build that faster, and your attack speed +9. You can see how all these things lend themselves to critical, to combat, to TP regen. The fire suit is very much, a damage based ensemble. Now that all of this is open, this door up here is opened up. And this brings us to the lava lair. And this brings us to this thing. And the fire doesn't jump down from the chalice. Okay, where are we at? Our HP is 351, our MP is 139, and that's just not going to do anything for us, boys and girls. Let's go here. Okay, let's do this. Let's hit the skill and how much healing? 600. Let's do the healing blast. And I'm half up on MP. I'll deal with that bridge when I come to it. Let's see what this guy does. Again, I like the bounce on the animation. I really liked that script better than other options. This guy's a demon. He's down here in a lava pit, so he's probably fire based. I want to use waterfalls right off the bat. Let's see what happens.
Pathetic mortal. We have watched your progress with disdain. We would prefer to eat you now than carry on with this charade. Have you any reason we shan't?
Yeah, I taste like I just pooed myself in terror. No, no, I cannot. There's no reasoning with you. Underneath all this armor, I'm covered in demon pox. So you can choose these three different answers, and depending on which answer you choose, he's either happier with you or unhappier with you. And each one has a different response, but still leads to the next same question. So you can go through these, and you can just pick whichever answer you like, whether you want to be funny, whether you want to be sarcastic, whether you want to be safe, and once you've played it a couple of times and you learn the correct combination of answers, uh, the thing that he gives you at the end alters. I am going to say, underneath all this armor, I'm covered in demon pox.
A trite lie. All the more reason to eat you alive. However, in the death of the wizard Ooze, we are unlikely allies. What would you say to a bargain?
A bargain? With a demon? Sign me up. I could probably manage without one.
In satisfaction with alliance, we are well matched. Take the staff of hellfire and go before we change our minds. Live, and we will visit you one day to collect.
And so, having delivered his little tirade, he leaves. You can see now the cups have no fire. Don't stand in the hot, it hurts. And here's the Staff of Hellfire. Don't just walk away, you have to pick the Staff of Hellfire up. Uh, yep, new weapon, Staff of Hellfire. And I've got that old Zelda callback where he faces you and holds the weapon up over his head. That's that callback there. Let's go look at this. This is the Staff of Hellfire. It has a resistance of Earth +6, but it has a weakness to water of -6%. But it also is resistance to blind. It's resistance to the state of blindness. And in that blinded lightning, whenever that strikes down and blinds you, that might protect you from becoming blind. The attack on that is +16. And if you joined us with the spoiler for Secret Level 1 coming out of Level 2, you know that the Sword of Hellfire has an attack +17, and that's where I referenced that thing's got a really stout attack bonus. There's only one other, well, there's a couple other weapons, and it's specifically the Staff of Hellfire +1 and +2 and +3. And you can get one of those by answering the demon differently. I answered with all the stuff that I knew would annoy him the most. So we got the plain Staff of Hellfire. If you're more gracious and you're more kiss-assy with the demon, you get better Staff of Hellfires. And then once you have this with the overall set, you can see that your TP regen, your crit rates, your hit rates, your attacks are just going to be off the chart. So that's what this set was built for. And this is the secret room of the Lava Labyrinth. And you come out of there and you're all satisfied and you're heading over the next level. And in those in that in between level, you find out your lava suit's complete, your secret level is complete. Here I've got an ad for one of my comic and movie collectibles. This is the Captain America that's signed by Jack Kirby. Again, I worked for First Team Press and I bought these straight from the printer myself. So there's absolutely no doubt of authenticity, and I sell those with my own certificate of authenticity. And again, this was just a proof of concept where I, asked myself, well, I want to make a game and I want to have, self-promoting ads in it, but I don't want them to be, pop up during the middle of action. I don't want them to be on screen while I'm playing. How can I get around that annoyance? And so these interim level completed levels are the solution to that. And when you start at the beginning, you can go to the apex, you can turn off the ads, and you can play through the whole game without the ads. So there you go. Coming up, we are going into Water World. We got to find that mana suit. We got to find the mana accessory. We got to find the secret room. It's you know it's more of the same. We're gonna do the water element level. Um, we are gonna turn around and save our progress right now. That is going to show that we are in the level up screen of level 4. It's going to show us what armor we're wearing. So obviously we know what we've completed. Our playtime, our saves, our pickups, our secrets, our mobs, our times died. Um, that's all for this level. Join me for the next level. We're going to take on Water World. Things are going to get crazy. If you came here because you want to understand how to play the game better, thanks very much. If you're checking this out because you want to see what can be made with RPG Maker MV, thanks for checking this out. This is my first proof of concept, my first game. It's a 10-game demo, and I hope you're enjoying it. Do that like and subscribe thing if you want. YouTube kind of responds to it, and I'll see you in the next video.